I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on, Janine.
Thank you for being here. I know it's a little bit, it's like the most beautiful place ever, but it's a little crazy to find.
It is a little crazy to find if your Waze is out of control like mine was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But let me tell you, this is beautiful, peaceful. Like, I feel safe here.
No.
It's exactly the environment for someone who wants to get better to come to.
Right? And this is something that you say that I love. You have to get to a point where you don't have any game left in you. But if you have even a little bit of game, you just have your connect drop something off in the bushes.
Okay, so I'm one of those people. So I was in treatment.
That's right. I want to hear this story. I feel like I've heard this story, but I don't remember all the details.
Yeah, so this happened to me. That was me. I'm that person. I break the dynamic in treatment. I'm in treatment. I'm there. The truth be told is that I found out I was pregnant in treatment, and I signed all the paperwork when I got there, like, because I was on heavy meds and stuff from detoxing and stuff. And I was told I needed to do a forced RU46, which just got legalized again, the forced abortions. And this is it'll be 21 years ago. And it was a lot. So they told me not to connect, and I connected to that situation. It went on, like, I was literally going through contractions, doing all that for about 7 hours, and I was in treatment. And I'll never forget, there was these two guys outside, and they were the clients that were there. And they just sat outside watching the door to make sure. And I could just, they were just sitting there crying. They told me the next day they were crying because they could hear me screaming and all this stuff from going through all this. But I went back to my doctor, and I wasn't feeling good after it happened. I went to do the checkup, whatever, but then I really wasn't feeling good. Like a month later, I'm still in treatment. And I'm like, please let me go, Dr. Drew, to my doctor in Beverly Hills. So I go to my doctor in Beverly Hills, and he's like, yep, you're pregnant with a dead baby. Your HCG level is around 1,200. I think it's 1,300 where you die. And he's like, you got 3 to 5 days. I got to do an emergency DNC. He does it that day with no sedation.
Oh my gosh.
So not only is this happening, but I'm like 2-3 months sober now.
This is the most traumatic thing I've ever heard.
Oh, this is just the beginning. But it's traumatic. And so all of a sudden, I'm feeling feelings as I lay on that table. And I'm like, why am I on this cold table? Why am I doing what I'm doing? My poor mom, dad, brother, family, my career, what's going on? Like, I'm feeling fucking feelings. And I'm feeling them all at the same, like, I'm in this place about to do this thing. At the end, he goes, look, we're done. And he showed me. And
he showed you the tissue?
He showed me the thing that was in the thing. Yeah, the whole thing. It was traumatizing. And he says to me, come back in 2 weeks for your checkup. So I go to my fancy Beverly Hills doctor at Cedars, and I go back 2 weeks later, and he decided to sexually assault me with a wand as he was checking me out. So it was a little too much for me to be in my own skin and in reality with so much trauma, untreated.
How old were you?
This is in treatment. This is 21 years ago.
Okay.
I'm 29.
Oh my gosh.
Or 28.
Did you want to terminate the pregnancy? Or they just said, this is what's best for you right now.
What's best
and you're like,
you,
whatever, fine.
Yeah, I was so broken and shattered at this point, right? I'm coming into, you're broken, shattered, like the last thing I think. But I come back to treatment. But what happened was, as that was happening to me, the assault, I was like, who's going to believe me? I'm the drug addict versus a doctor at that point, because I had no voice, right?
Yes.
So I went back to treatment, and it was too real, too raw. I called my dealer as a family member to come over, and I relapsed there. Not a good idea, because you get caught in treatment. So, like, why would you, you know what I mean? Like,
I used in every treatment center I ever went to. I've never graduated one.
Oh, you didn't?
No, not once.
So, and it was too much, and they were going to lock me up at the psych ward. I'm like, I can't go to the psych ward. It's too much for me. Like, I'm out. I'm bouncing. I AMA'd. 10 weeks later, I checked in, ended up in the psych ward, and that's how January 15th, 2006 is my sobriety date. And I ended up hanging myself that day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, so I just got full body chills, and you guys, so Jennifer and I have the same sobriety date, which is one of the things I noticed when I was listening and doing research. I don't know how you survived that. And what's interesting to me about that too is that you had kind of repressed that until you were sitting in a group later, right? And then you remembered the assault portion. Mm-hmm. And
you do? Oh,
yeah. So, I listened to like every interview
you've ever given. A group, actually. Okay. I was facilitating.
Oh, you were the facilitator?
Yes. I don't know what happened that day. It was a beautiful day. I remember it was on a Saturday. I showed up, did my group. It was an amazing group. Everyone had a great time, nothing bad. I went upstairs to the office. There was therapists and counselors there, and I'm just a psychiatrist, and I'm doing the notes. And all of a sudden, I start going like this, and my face starts shaking, and something triggered me in that group. It could have been the way someone looked at me, what I smelled. I don't know what it was. Wow. And I'm like, oh my God, I was sexually assaulted. And it took 7 years. I'm 7 years sober.
Oh my
and I
gosh.
finally remember this. Like, I'm a big advocate when I say to people, like, things are supposed to come up when you're ready for them. I was ready, and I was in a very safe environment. Thank you, God, with all these therapists and psychiatrists. It was about a 3-hour journey of like, my face was like, I couldn't control the muscles in my face and like the vomiting and all that stuff. It was just so crazy to watch that trauma.
And I appreciate you sharing that so much. I wanted to ask you about this exact scenario because I feel like it's important for people to know that that could happen. And so if you are having a panic attack, something that's so unfamiliar to you, it's different, it's not your regular anxiety, and you've been sober for a little while, don't dismiss that.
Yeah.
There is something going on. You know, they say trauma lives in the body, and you don't leave the trauma until the body is ready to release it. Yeah. And I just want anyone listening to know that is something that can happen in the course of treatment, therapy, etc.
Yeah. And you know what?
It's wild.
It's so important that you're saying this, because talk about full circle. Like, I have done the first 5 years of my sobriety, I didn't go anywhere without someone who wasn't sober with me, a loved one, mom or brother, someone who cared, would never let anything happen to me. I was only thrown in groups and treatment, and I've been doing all that stuff for the first 5 years. I did get Sober House, the show on VH1 with Dr. Drew at 2.5 years sober. They put me in. I had a team of people. As soon as I was done, my group of people took me out. I was only back in meetings. Like, there was a lot of things I had to do in order to get better, and to protect myself. But the full circle is, I've done so much work on myself. EMDR, I mean, name it, I've done everything. Name it, for years. So the first 5 years, I did intense work. I continued to do intense work. I'm now 20 years and 2 months and a couple days sober now. And that story about the pregnancy, I'm now, for about 5 months ago, November 6th, I got really, I was at a premiere, and I just started clotting and bleeding. It was like awful what happened, and it never stopped. So I've been in and out of hospitals the last 4 months. It's been brutal, and it's been crucial. Now I had to go back to Cedars-Sinai.
Oh no.
I know, like I said, I've done I was like, I'm cool. I can get through this. All of a sudden, men are touching me. I'm freaking out. I think they know him. He's here. Like, all this crazy shit. 20 years of therapy. 20 years of being present and clear. And now it's playing with my head. And I want people to know this. Like, when it comes up, if some trauma comes up that I will open the door, but there's tools, I'm fine. I'm not freaking out. Like, I got a female doctor. No man's going to touch me anymore. I've like put my foot down. There's boundaries with it. You know what I mean? But like, it's interesting that it's not, you may not be completely healed in situations.
And give yourself grace and take care of yourself. And I think that's the thing that even I forget to do sometimes. I'll get so down on myself for, whatever is happening. And I think we forget that the impacts of what we went through, I mean, life is challenging, but especially if you're an addict and all of the trauma and the darkness that comes with that, it really can take hold of you. And I think everybody needs to remember to give yourself grace, because like you said, even with all of that therapy, you still had this moment. But the good news is there's tools, which is why I do this show. The woman I interviewed 2 days ago, the coolest lady, she's an energetic counselor, and she talks to you about like cord cutting, and she works here at this treatment center, which I think is so cool that she's called a spiritual therapist, and that's who's on their clinical team. That's amazing. And that's actually kind of what sold me. I was like, okay, yeah, that's really cool. But she was talking about, she shared a bunch of real life tools that somebody could do that doesn't necessarily live in LA and has a team that can pull them out of a set and bring them home and go to meetings. They're living wherever, and they can go outside and there are tools available but you just got to know about them.
Yeah, and
give
lifelong
yourself
life-
grace.
Literally, you saw what happened.
Right. And give yourself grace.
Literally, you saw what happened right before we started the show. Tim and I got a text, and one of my dearest friends is on life support right now. Don't know if he's going to, but I have to be here. And that literally happened 5 minutes before
as they walked in the door.
And I got to keep going. You got to learn to, you just got to learn to keep going. And the tools, thank God for the tools. And now I'm going through female things and possibly hysterectomies and this and that, but I'm all going to be taken care of. Yeah. It has been a struggle, but mentally, oh my God. And women, if you're listening, please listen to me on this one. From at 35 years old, start checking your hormones. I'm 48. I'm in perimenopause. I don't want to ever experience menopause. It's driving me crazy. I found out I had 0.001% testosterone in me. Do you know, I was suicidal for a week, which was weird because I don't really like to say that word because I attempted suicide.
Right.
It got that dark that I was there. And my husband, he's Tim's always you're going to be fine. For a week, he'd be looking at me in the corner, babe, are we good? And I was I don't know, babe, because I would go to any lengths to get help, right, and to get better. Right. And it's interesting. I'm maybe losing, this, but I just became a mom, a full-time mom.
You did?
Yes, with our 10.5-year-old daughter, Mackenzie. Okay. So she's now with us for the last 10 months. And it's been great, and life, it's weird. God gives you these rewards as you're going through life and all these challenges. Yeah, it's weird that we got straight into that.
We went straight into that.
And then...
But you know what? I love that because I do the same thing. And the second text you sent me was that. You were just so you know. And that's how I am. And I'm oh, this woman, the girl after my own heart. This is exactly how I am. Okay. And my next text to you was, and can you believe they didn't give hormones for all these years? And you and I had been speaking for 30 seconds.
I know, and I couldn't, and then I thought about that because women didn't get hormones.
No, it's criminal.
Who are these strong, amazing, powerful women?
I know.
That must have felt so broken and crazy and insane and just alone.
I know.
At least that's what
I know. I know.
That's just one moment.
I know. I know. So I do want to back up because, like you said, we just went right into the deep end. One of my favorite movie lines of all time is in Jerry Maguire. He says, "Jump right into my nightmare. The water is warm." I love it. Jump right into the deep end. The water is warm. So you have an incredible story. This is everyone's dream. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there's the other side that no one thinks about. At 13 years old, you're at the Santa Monica Pier. And you go from, in your words, Argentina?
Yeah, Buenos Aires.
Dirt roads and donkeys to discovered at 13 years old on the pier by a legitimate photographer.
Bruce
and
Weber.
Overnight you become a famous model celebrity and your life changes forever.
Ever.
So can you tell me about that day and what comes next?
Gosh, it's so wild. I remember, and every time I drive by Santa Monica Pier, when I drove today, and I was
it's also such an institution.
I know.
I love that sign.
It really is. Yeah. Okay, so when I was a little girl, it's kind of at that time, I don't know I was I wanted to be a model. I said to my dad, we were at a store, I looked at him, I was holding on to his legs, I was that little. And I said, Daddy, I'm going to be on the cover of that. He still loved to tell that story. And it was the cover of Elle. My first cover is American Elle cover.
No way.
Yeah, it's crazy. So to be discovered by Bruce Weber and literally, my family brought me up. I didn't know handicapped people were handicapped. We had an uncle didn't have legs, and he was just the uncle. It wasn't I was brought up with racism, black, white. I didn't know any of that stuff. My family. It's in Buenos Aires. It's very much love, everyone together, and. When I got discovered, I didn't know people were gay or when I met Bruce Weber, I called him Papa Smurf. That's how young I was in my head, right? And he was the sweetest guy. And the minute I stood in front of the camera, I remember I put on heels. I couldn't walk in heels, but I stood on the set in the heels, and he was like, "It's over." And I'm like, "When?" He says to my mom, "She's staying with me. She's mine." And it was whoa, just like that, staying in front of the camera. But being discovered and not knowing anything that was about to happen, it's very rare. It's back then to be 13 years old and getting discovered. And being from a girl from Buenos Aires, Argentina, dirt roads and donkeys, to literally, like you said, becoming a supermodel overnight, really really was like, it was exciting and like, I felt like I was in the right spot. Like, I just felt like, oh, okay, this is what I wanted to do and I'm doing it. But like, I'm 13. So it didn't really kind of make sense because I'm doing something, I wasn't thinking about sexual things to do. Do you know what I mean? But like just modeling, like, like girl thing. But to what it became immediately was something completely different. And like the photos I did, it was for As Unalive, the first thing I did with Bruce Weber. I'm hugging a girl. I'm in a G-string, like bathing suit. Like I'm with other guys, like me and a bunch of guys. Like, and it was innocent, but it doesn't look innocent.
Sure.
But I got to tell you, it was so fascinating being like flying around, but like at the same time as like all this beautifulness was happening and like surrealness, because it's a fast world. It's a fast and glamorous world. And because I was the it girl, I mean, I was the new sensation, I was treated differently immediately. But what happened was I started growing up. I started developing. I was 5'6" when I got discovered. I'm 5'10". And, having the responsibilities of like working and selling products for millions and millions and millions of dollars that were on the line for me to have like that pressure. And anytime I had a creative input, like they would say my voice didn't matter. And I'm talking like Victoria's Secret, Versace runway, like me doing every show. I mean, like just I'm everywhere, and they would say that my voice didn't matter. And there was 20 girls younger, tighter, more beautiful behind me.
They would say that?
Oh, God, yeah, all the time. And
really?
Yeah, all the time. They told me how irreplaceable. But not only did they tell me how irreplaceable I was, this is what they do with every model.
Right.
You're either too tall, too short, no, not the right look, your hips are too big, your eyebrow. I knew by the time I was like 14 or 15, I knew every imperfection about me.
Yeah.
And like, what? Like, so those developing years of like self-esteem, integrity, self-worth, they only told me I was good as my next job cover campaign. Wow. So it was like it was very confusing. And then I'm, selling sex when I don't even know what that is. Yeah. And, the oohing and the eyeings and like come to this, I had to go to, if I'm in Paris, go to this dinner and wear a black little dress and, and all this Epstein shit that's happening. Like, I was never on the island. I was never, but I knew him. I met him.
You did?
I met him. I had to go deep into this. One of Jean-Luc Burnel, he died. He was an agent from Karen's. He owns Karen Models. And he flew out to meet me with his wife then, Roberta Crico, who was a huge supermodel. And I was going to go with them. I didn't sign with them, but I would go out with them. And like there's dinners and like he's dead. And there's like another like group of like 8 of them that I know from Europe that are dead part of that scene. Okay. So that world growing up, modeling was incredible. Yeah. Modeling was fun.
Yeah.
All the behind the scenes, like the agent screwing me over for money, like getting, jerked or we didn't know. My mom didn't know where she's from, like, dirt roads in Argentina. Yeah. How do we know, know? And we were trying to like navigate this, and me going to public high school, trying to fit in public high school.
You were still going to school?
Mm-hmm. I only went to school 2 months out of the year. For my freshman year and my senior year, but I graduated.
You did?
I did. I had to
Did you go like Beverly Hills High? What school?
West Covina.
Okay.
I grew up in the San Gabriel Valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
how the hell did you graduate? Did you study when you were on the road? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I self-taught.
Okay.
It's
so you got a diploma. You graduated.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
diploma. Isn't that crazy?
Cool. Yeah.
There's a point where I would do like night school as much as I could, and then or I'd do like other extra things to do extracurricular. But it was interesting. I could speak, by the time I graduated high school, I could speak 4 languages.
That's insane.
It wasn't school that taught me that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was already a multi-million,
Yeah. So because you developed wealth, right, at that time.
Yeah, at that time.
Was there any part of you though that, because from my end, I'm the one seeing the magazines. So like I would have seen you in magazines for sure.
Yeah.
So I would have seen you in magazines. Was there any part of you, and my self-esteem was affected because I'm seeing this beautiful model and I'm like, wow, like I would never look like that. But you're saying that your self-esteem was being torn apart by that world. Was there any part of you that could be aware that, okay, well, even though they're nitpicking this and that, obviously I am more attractive than 99.99% of women though, because this is my job? Or was there not that piece?
There wasn't that piece, I don't think. Yeah, not like, oh, I'm hotter than 90. It was never that. It was...
I don't think any of you thought that. I don't think any models think that, which blows my mind.
So, yeah, at all. Like, at all. So, like, till this day, I always say Jenny. I'm still finding Jenny.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on this road of finding Jenny, and Jennifer. Like, it's weird. Like, Jennifer the image, total different thing. Like getting up, getting ready, or having people, whatever, do my hair, make, or going in front of the camera. As soon as I come in front of I'm okay.
Wow.
And it was never. Those are just average girls, or I'd never see any of that stuff.
Yeah. Marilyn Monroe used to say that was when she came alive. She had this makeup artist that she loved. His name was Whitey. And she would lay down when he would do her makeup. Mm-hmm. She wanted to look relaxed and young. Yeah. She didn't have Botox.
I know.
Unfortunately, which sucks.
Poor girl. She still looked hot, though.
Sucks. She did, yeah. So she would lay down in an effort to, that was how she would get her makeup done. No chair, on the floor. Mm-hmm. And he'd been her makeup artist for years, and he would do it. And he said that she would say, please bring Marilyn out. Please, God, be there today.
Oh, my gosh. She did?
Mm-hmm.
I always say a prayer right before.
Really?
I always do. Right before, and I get nervous, even if I'm doing a podcast. Doesn't matter. I start getting cotton.
Is it going to come out? Is she going to come out?
But you know what I think it is? I think the day I'm not nervous is the day I quit.
Okay, right. Okay.
I think that because I want to keep.
It's the edge that makes you wanting to do it and involved and invested.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, modeling, Victoria's Secret, Vogue, all that stuff. I remember trying something out. I think it might have been for Victoria's Secret, and I'm trying on a bathing suit lingerie, and I look in the mirror and I see this elephant man, and it was the weirdest thing. I was like, I have seen you almost all my life, modeling at that point, my modeling years, and I'm like, oh my God, and I couldn't distort the fact from fiction. And I'm just so grateful that I have so much more appreciation for and compassion for myself. I was just a kid trying to, make things work for my family and for me. It was something I got thrown into. I got to tell you, I have lived an extraordinary life. I still live an extraordinary life. It's so badass.
Yeah.
And for an ordinary girl. And I pinch myself still. And I don't take that for granted.
And I'd be willing to bet you include the drug use in that. I saw this quote recently. I forget who said it, but it said, when I return my life at the end, I wanted to be beat and bruised and battered, and I wrung everything out of it that I could. Mm-hmm. And I thought, yeah, me too. And I fucking have. And I'll include the going to jail and the shooting heroin and the cocaine and all that whole life, all of that. I actually wouldn't change any of that. It's part of the bruised and the battered. And I went looking for something different. Yeah. I wanted something more. That's why I moved to LA. Yeah. So when do you start drinking and using? It's in the modeling period, right? What's the first time you start getting heavy into that stuff?
First time I took a drink was 12 years old. I wanted to feel, because in Argentina, family's very intermeshed, intertwined. Aunts, uncles, or neighbors come over for dinner. Everyone's always drinking and having a good time, dancing. I remember people drinking in Argentina and having a good time. When we moved back to California, we left our family behind. My mom and my brother, my dad and I came. And I fucking had a brain fart right now.
So you're back. You're discovered. That was the first time you technically drank. But then when does it pick up?
Yeah. So I want to feel like they did, because I wasn't in a happy place. So much chaos. So much chaos in my family. I'm 12 years old. I'm making my brother a sandwich. I look over into the dining room. I see my parents' liquor cabinet. I want to feel like they did in Argentina. Took my first drink. Till this day, my perception tells me it went down into my throat and it was warm and fuzzy. And it kind of imploded in my belly. And I felt like a cross between the Jolly Green Giant, Wonder Woman, She-Ra. I felt that instant, And I didn't become a full-fledged alcoholic. Modeling, of course, I started drinking. Yes, of course, I started blacking out. Yes, I started smoking. Yes, I kind of tried weed and hash. I learned to smoke in Japan. Thank you, models there. It's like every country or state, I learned something new, And I was like a trash can. Nothing really stuck until I was with two girls. They were models, friends of mine. At this moment in my life, I always say I was probably a great model because I'm a great chameleon. It's one of our survival mechanisms. But I remember they were moving. I was moving like them. And we were drinking out of these beautiful crystal champagne glasses. And they were like, oh my God, I bought it at blah, blah, blah. And my other girl was like, I got to go get some. And I was like, oh, I must get some too. Like, I'm living at fucking mommy's house. What champagne glass am I going to go? I mean, come on. And they pull out this white china plate, pour out this white powder, and rolled a beautiful $100 bill up, start snorting away. And they're like, do you want some? I was like, yeah, I haven't tried some in a while. Like, I'd never tried cocaine until this moment. But I got to tell you, the moment I did that first line, I was hooked. Cocaine gave me a heartbeat, and it told me things that no one else was telling me. It told me everything I needed to hear until it stopped telling me. And then I was in quest for more. But what drugs and alcohol did for me is it told me I was beautiful. I wasn't alone. It would never abandon me. My best friend, I could do this. I was fearless. I was this. I was that. And then it stopped, and I was in quest for more. And it was just like, thousand,
Yeah.
When it's too many, thousands never enough.
As a model, do you think you got better cocaine than the average person? You had to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I got
better. I love that you admitted that and that you were honest, because sometimes people are like, not really.
Yeah, no, I think I got better cocaine.
Okay, good.
I mean, not all the time, but
sure.
Definitely.
Like in that moment.
All those moments. Yeah, right. There was like the ebbs and flows.
I'm sure the ebbs and flows, right, yeah. So it gets to a spot where one of my favorite stories is when you accidentally end up in that meeting, right? So because that's the first bit of sobriety, right? That period. So what does it start to look like? Because this is when it does get really, really, really dark before you stumble onto that day. What did the 6 months look like before that day, or the 3 months?
Before the day of going to treatment?
Or when you were going to buy and somebody waved at you, but it was a meeting.
What was the 6 months before?
Yeah, what did it start to look like?
Lonely. I was living in Europe. I outstayed my welcome.
Okay.
In Milan. I mean, it's like.
Were you still working? Were you still working?
Still modeling.
Okay,
yeah. Okay. But I was, sometimes I wouldn't show up.
Right.
And I would do that whole I'm not proud to say it either. It's not like it's weird. It's so not proud to say. I just stand everyone up. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars of a photo shoot that people are depending on you. And I did a lot of that. I'm still modeling. I end up coming back from Europe, back at mommy's house. Because I got it going on, right? Going on. But it's weird. It's I have this extreme, outer presence to the world, but the inside I'm dying, I mean, I was good at that. I was raised to not tell secrets, I know some people might go, oh, that sounds creepy, but if someone's trying to hurt themselves, I was told not to say anything. If somebody was, drinking, don't talk about it to other people.
Yeah.
So, it was, yeah.
So you get back and you're using all the time, right? And you start to kind of fall apart physically. I mean, what leads you to that day?
Okay. So what's so horrible is the people, so it was the entertainment industry people that I was, doing and drugs with and partying.
Okay.
And then it, it just entertainment people. So, I'm with some agents, and they're they call themselves the Pink Mafia. So they ruled LA, and they were I was their girl. And so they were they started going okay, you're doing a little too much. Now these are guys that are doing it every day and night. And and I'm wait, what? And all my lower companion people were saying I was doing much and I was the problem. I was wait, what? So I'm now I'm starting to trip because I'm kind of a problem. What?
Right.
Just because I'm lurking through the whip line for hours. Anyways. And I'm by myself, and this is the worst. I'm at Chateau Marmont on a certain. At this point, I know every club owner, bar owner. I knew everyone I needed to know to get what I needed to get, however I needed to get it. And I go over to Bar Marmont, and I showed up at 3. I told him it's because I missed him, and I wanted to catch up. I just didn't have a place to drink or use. I just come back out of town after a few weeks or whatever. I've been back in town, and the party, like I'm drinking, getting high, and later on people start coming in and more people. And so all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, I got to go act like I'm cool. Like I remember that, like, and I was like, act like I'm cool. And I'm there by myself and I'm at the bar. I'm talking to a girlfriend of mine I know. We're blah, 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 blah. At the end, she goes, who are you here with? And I'm like, oh, I'm all alone. And something happened. I was like, alone, all night long. I couldn't make the echo go away. I get back to my mom's house, and I don't know how long in time, what time frame that was, but I found myself in a rocking, moving forward position. And I was like, I got to figure this out. Don't know if you've ever had that or anyone's ever experienced it's like that rocking and you're like repeating yourself. And I was like, I know what to do. I'm going to go get a little bit more so I can calm my brain down, and then I'll get this handled. And the fact that I went, and that's when I went into the meeting. That's how I, by accident, got into my first NA meeting.
That's so funny to me. I mean, so will you share that story?
Yes.
You're driving down the street, somebody's waving at you.
So I'm driving on Fairfax. I'm about to make a right on Fountain. There's a corner, on the corner there's a white building. I'm like, it's early in the morning, so I see all these guys. And I love that I remember there's all these guys, because I was like, what are these hot guys doing here? Like, what? Like, I remember they're hot. And they're all tatted up, smoking. And I'm turning the corner. I'm like, is this an after hours? Like, because I've been to after. I mean, I've gone to shadier places than this moment. And I see this girl in the corner. She's smoking a cigarette. She's like, it's in here. And I'm literally thinking, like, she must know who I am. Like, I'm so self-centered, egotistical, and vain. Like, I'm in a fucking car. Like, come on, Jen. And I pull over, and I'm like, should I go in? Like, I mean, I've gone into worse. I'll just go in. My guy's a couple blocks down. So I go through these double doors, and I go through this other door, because no one, like when you walk in, it's like a building, and you walk in, and then I open the door, and there's a group of people in a circle, and they're like, wah, 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 and it's an NA meeting. I don't know what an NA meeting is, or a meeting at this point. And I'm watching everyone, and I'm like, people are standing up in a clot plotting. I don't care if you're drunk, high, or you're incredibly intelligent. Like, us addicts and alcoholics are very smart. Please, if anyone said that in your head and it repeats that you're dumb, or take those voices out and throw them out the door.
Most gifted people I've ever met.
Yes. Hands down. And I had a brain fart again.
In the meeting.
Oh,
you walked in?
I walked in, and people are hugging me, and like they're talking, it was wah, wah, wah. And I'm like, do you have to intro yourself before the party starts? So this guy's sitting like 2 seats next to me, 2 seats over, and he stands up and he's kind of looking at me, and I'm like shaking, and I'm jonesing now. So I'm like, fuck, okay, I'll stand up. So I stand up, and I'm like jonesing, like, hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm like, you? Like, I didn't know what to say. And they all applauded, and I waved. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what the hell? And I'm like, fuck, like, and I'm thinking to myself, just get the fuck out of here now. Like, okay, it's enough. It's not what you thought it was. It's nothing like what I don't even know what this is. So I bounce, and I'm going, my guy. I'm just, fuck this shit. I'm bouncing over the door, and I hear this voice behind me, and it's actually a real voice. It's a guy. And I hear Jennifer, and I go, guy talk to me, turn around, flick my hair, jaw grinding, nose dripping. I'm like, yeah, trying to be sexy. And he's like, there's a meeting here tomorrow at noon, you should come. And I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. I think he so wants me, right?
Well, okay, I do have to say, Dave is the only person that has said this to you in an interview. He pointed out, I'm sure he did want you. And I have to agree with that. Come on.
But it's like crazy. Sure. Like, I mean, and this is so bad. So I showed up the next day. I went home. I showered for him. I got ready for him.
And
I
you went back.
And I went back.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And again, though, my head is like, my guy's just a couple of blocks. This doesn't work out.
Okay.
So I get there, and all these fucking people are happy. They're hugging me because I got there a little early. I'm like, what are you doing? And like, I remember this one guy grabbed me. He's like, girl, you're not gacked out. And I was like, shut the fuck back. I'm like, what's up, fakers? Like, I didn't know what to do. And the meeting started. The meeting ended. I never saw him again. I think he told me his name was Dave. I do not fully remember, but to me, that man is my angel, my Eskimo. I'm eternally grateful for him. All he was saying to me was, keep coming back. The seed was planted that day, and you are welcome here. You know, it was never, ever, ever the same since.
Yeah.
Every time that I relapsed, you know, I was a relapser. I just, that vicious cycle, until it hurt enough, and I had that one opportunity to live just another day.
Yeah. You know what, though? I think it's important to point out that that was the start of your journey, though. A lot of us have starts that aren't the current sobriety date that we have. And one of the things that I like to say is because I relapsed a lot also. And of course, I thought I just felt like such a failure, and all of those were failures. And I realized at some point those weren't failures. Every time I came in, I was meeting people and I was gathering resources, and those were available for me to execute on them when I was ready. That's what that was.
That's really beautiful that you say that.
It's true. Because my last kick, I was homeless and had been homeless for a long time. And I was at a friend's house out in 29 Palms, the military base.
Oh.
And I had no idea where I was going to go when I went back to San Diego. And I called, and I didn't realize this until I had about 5 years sober. When I started the podcast, actually, I had a co-host at the time who was a normie. Mm-hmm. And she was asking me what I did that week or whatever when I came back. And I said, oh, well, I called Rachel, who's my sponsor, and she's been my sponsor for a million years. And my co-host Kim said, oh, so you already knew her. And I said, oh, yeah, I knew her from, from before. And I called Steve, who owned the Sober Living, who let me move in. And she said, oh, so you knew him too? And I said, yeah, I'd already met him. And in that moment, I was like, oh, yeah, I already knew all those people from all the times I had come in. Mm. I had more resources that day than the first attempt when I wasn't homeless. I knew more then.
Yeah.
And every time I came in, I was learning things. And I had so many moments. People share, when I interview people, they share so many moments that they had that were real, like, aha moments, but they weren't the last sobriety date. Mm-hmm. Like, there were so many times in rehab when I was like, holy shit. I remember one of them, it was my birthday. I was turning 32, and I was in treatment, and I was on a bunk bed, and it was my birthday. And I remember thinking, man, if I could have done this any other way, I would have. I don't know how to do this, obviously, because I never would have wanted to be here on a birthday, and that's not my sobriety date. That's just one of many awareness moments I had. Yeah. Yes. And we have so many along the way.
We really do.
And so, like, that was a moment when you started on the path, though it's not your current sobriety date. And I think it's really important for not just addicts to hear that, but their family members.
Yes.
The people that love them, because my mom would not stop until I lived. She would not stop.
Oh, girl, me and you have the same kind of mom. I love it. My mom wrote notes. Please pray for my alcoholic and drug addict daughter to everyone in church, and would pass them out. So when I started going to church, they'd be like, "You're the drug addict." I'm like, "Yeah." Like,
that's how my mom's friends are. They're like, "Janine, you're alive."
Them, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's my mom would not stop, and she kept helping me get into places where I would hear something and then I would leave. Mm-hmm. And then she wouldn't stop. I remember it was my parents are divorced. It was really acrimonious, but he's the one that said that to me once. He said, you look at your mother right now. She was driving me to detox. And he said, she's supposed to be at work right now, but she is driving all over San Diego trying to make sure you don't die. Mm-hmm. And it hit me so hard. I was like, God, she is.
Yeah.
And she didn't stop until I agreed to live.
I got this bad for my poor mom. She came to my house after I relapsed in treatment. She came to my house and she said, I'm packing your bags. You're coming home with me. You're going to go to the house. I'm going to take care of you. I brought you into this world, and I want to be there to watch you take your last breath. And you're going to die, Jenny, and I don't want you to die alone. I love you that much. You can use in my house. And I was okay with that.
Wow.
What? Like, I was okay with that.
Yeah.
My little brother was at war. He was in the military. And he would call when he could. And he would call me and say, Jenny, please don't die today. I love you with all my heart. I'm worrying about you. I love you. If you die, I die. Please don't. And I was okay with that. It got to a point my brother actually got to come home from war to come see me at treatment center because Dr. Drew kept saying I was going to die through the withdrawals like 4 different times.
He also told you once, right? And this is Dr. Drew, the famous Dr. Drew. Didn't he say to you, you're the hope to die kind. You're the one that's going to die so that others may live. He said that to you.
He literally told the whole entire staff, and he found out. I found out about it. Then he came to me. Well, what happened was...
Yeah, what does he think now? Now he knows you got 21 years.
Yeah, he's like my dad. Okay. I love him. We're super close. I love him so much. So he couldn't stand me. He says I'm one of his top 3 worst female clients. I wasn't malice. I just did things for reaction. Like, stay the fuck away from me. So I was loud. And then I just self-entitled. And when I wouldn't get my way, I just throw fits. Mm-hmm. I'm not like that at all, you guys. At all. At all. It's not who I am today. I just want to let you know. One more time.
Well, and I want to get back to that story, but there's a really important piece of the timeline here that I don't want to skip over, which is that you go to that meeting, there's the guy, you go back. This is what kind of blows my mind. You stay sober for a while and you start filming Blow, Charlie's Angels, big
Vanilla
shit.
Sky,
Vanilla
Sweetest
Sky,
Thing, Corky Romano.
big shit. So you're sober, you're incredibly successful as an actress now. You're making money. You use again anyway.
Yeah, I use.
Why? And when?
So
How long do you stay sober?
in the beginning of Blow,
Yeah.
not in the end.
Okay, nobody pushes you on this, and I'm going to. Because you're filming a movie about cocaine with a bunch of drug addicts. You know, Ethan Suplee is a drug addict, right? He's been on Dopey now. Johnny Depp, obviously, we all know. There's you. How are you all interacting on the set? And if you can't say, and you don't want to say that, obviously that's fine. But like, I have two questions. How are you interacting on set? And then also, someone told me once that when you do cocaine in acting, I feel like this can't be right. You blow out through the straw to clear the line. That can't be right.
That's wrong.
What do you do?
With the straw, inhale.
What do you? But you're not. What are you inhaling?
Milk thistle. We did. You could do. I think vitamin B. People. So Ted Demi wanted to do as pure as possible cocaine, and I think it was either Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese told him to use milk thistle because it's the purest form. So when we're doing it, and then the minute you do it, now you have to understand there's 135, 150 people on set. You got medics right there. As soon as you finish doing your scene, they're coming up and afronating your nose, and stuff like that
to clear the milk thistle out of your sinuses.
They have it. So like,
so that's
set,
what people do.
I wasn't high on set. Like I didn't come in like no one. You just
Ethan Suplee has admitted he did.
Okay. So you weren't really like that. You were. Yeah.
He shared that on Dopey.
So George, who I got on Dopey, who the movie Blow is based off of. By the way, I love Ethan so fucking much.
He was fucked up on that movie. Did you know? Did you guys know?
Well, we were good friends because he was friends with Leo and I'm friends. It's the same crowd that we hung out with.
Okay, so y'all didn't know because he's now been completely open about this on Dopey. He couldn't even leave the trailer sometimes because he'd be like shitting his pants in withdrawal. So, y'all didn't know?
No. I didn't. I mean, I was so fucked up too, though.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I mean, but I wasn't at so I wasn't.
Not while filming. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, there was times though later that like you did kind of do things afterwards.
Okay. Sure. That's fine. So how do you relapse? What happens to make you relapse while you're there on set? And how many years had you been sober?
Okay. So I wasn't like maybe. I'm maybe a year sober, but not like foundation sober.
Right. Okay.
Like that's the thing that happened. Every time I relapse, like I now did the math and I understand it. Like I would just go in, I'd clean up really fucking quick. Sure. And like that, everyone does. Like in the beginning, you guys,
you're 25, 26.
Yeah, you clean up. Even like, when you're first time sober, you clean up. But after a while, you don't clean up anymore. Yeah. And that was the end of my story, is I didn't clean up in the end. But I cleaned up and I would just go back to getting what I needed to get. And then a guy would come in my life and, oh my God, he's my higher power. Like what? Work was like for a minute, but then I'd be done with that job and then I go to the next job. So it's always like the next thing. Mm-hmm. But like men were a great higher power. I stopped my life for a lot of my girlfriends too. Okay. That were like, that are super duper powerful. And so like, you kind of start like living this very private, I don't even know how to say it. You just start navigating in a different way. Okay. Life.
So you're filming and trying to clean up when you can, and then you're maybe using again, but you're always kind of trying to get back to being cleaned up, but there's no real foundation. That's what's happening.
Yeah. I'd go to the rooms for a couple months, maybe a couple days. I'd get good 30 days and, but yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite movie that you got to work on?
Blow.
Okay.
Hands down Blow.
Okay.
Because we were such a strong force. Like even Ethan, so we'd all go out, like me and Penelope had to break our dialect. So we had to be together every day because I'm from Argentina, she's from Spain, and we had to play Colombians. So we were always.
So you would work on that together?
Yes, with teachers and stuff. So then we had to do this dance stuff that didn't make it in the movie, but we'd have to go to these salsa clubs early and like they set it up for us. But like sometimes like Teddy and Johnny Depp would come in, Ted Demi, the director, Paul Rubens. Oh God, I love him so much. I miss him so much. He was my dearest friend on that show.
He's your husband on the
No,
in the
he's
movie.
The hairdresser, Paul Rubens.
Oh, okay.
Pee Wee Herman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So he, and he passed like a year and a half
That's
ago.
right.
And he was...
That's right. He's the connection that fucks over Johnny Depp with your husband.
And we were the closest. Right. But in real life, my character had an affair with Johnny Depp, George. Oh. And she's such a bad cokehead. She got pregnant with George. And then he would beat her all the time, the Diego, my husband. But in real life, Diego is Carlos Letter. So in the original 10 of like, if you watch Narcos, it's Pablo Escobar and then the top 10 guys. Yeah. Carlos Letter was one of them. And that's who I play his wife. Okay. And that's the one that did the deal with George.
Oh, okay. Then
that's how they broke up because of my character. But no one knew that. So we established like there's money counting scenes and like we're making out with like really quick flashes of things, but they're trying to establish that in the movie.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, and that's your favorite that you got to do?
Yeah. I mean, like, because we were such a strong, like, force. Like, we'd always be together. We all had a great time. We all supported each other. Yeah. Like, having everyone, like, Ethan would even come on set when I was on and, like, support me. Like, it was just, like, he was, not, like, every day, but he did a couple times. We just were all, like, cool, but... I didn't know that. Wow. I love hearing that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was completely open about it. You know how Dave is. I mean, he got him to say everything.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, everything. He was like, yeah, it was really bad. He was flying stuff back and forth. I mean, it was like a lot. It was a lot. He was a heavy, I think, oxy addict. And so like there were days he couldn't leave the trailer if he couldn't find something. Because where did you guys film? You filmed out at...
Here, Mexico, couple weeks, but like,
but mostly here.
Ambassador Hotel, like just different place around.
I think it was when you guys were in Mexico. He had trouble like getting something there or something, and there was a couple of like really bad days. So let's bump to January, leading up to January 15th. Talk to me about where you get to and how you end up attempting suicide, and that becomes your final sobriety date.
So I had that happen with the doctor and like I talked about in the beginning.
Oh, right. Yes.
The pregnancy and then carrying a dead baby and then being sexually assaulted by my Beverly Hills doctor. I left for 10 weeks because they were going to put me in the psych ward. Okay. And that is literally why I didn't want to go there. I didn't go. I mean, that's the reason why I left, because I like psych ward was like the bottom of the barrel. Like that's not me.
Yeah.
It's one long night. One long night. I remember, it's funny you said this because I tried to remember it the other day. For some reason, because I found out the first was going to be the full moon. And I thought about the full moon and I thought, oh my God, November had a full moon that year. And I hear dogs howling and I just remember I was scared in my house. And I was like, I can't even do this. And I'm thinking about people in treatment. And I was thinking about Dr. Drew's little fucking smirk he made.
You missed them.
Yeah. And like Bob and his red hair and his different hats. And I was thinking about who was hooking up with who. And I was like, this is so fucked. Like, what? I'm thinking about treatment when I'm trying to numb myself. And the fact that I can't numb myself, and then I just don't understand why I'd wake up with like burns all over me. And so I thought I was buying cocaine. My dealer, when I went back to treatment, they tested me. I tested positive for horse tranquilizer, rat poison, speed, heroin, name it, gasoline, everything was in there. And he just wanted me dead, you know? And people were like, how could he do that? He's a drug dealer. Come on. Like, and I remember he said, whatever you do, never smoke it. And the night before I went to my mom's, he came over and he said, I'm going to teach you how to smoke this. And I looked at him, I was like, yeah, next time. Okay, cool. And I was like, this guy wants me dead. Wow. Like dead.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And at this point too, you had now burned through the money you had remade in the movies. Okay. So we're talking you're down on your luck.
Do you want to know how bad it got? I never say this story.
Yeah.
I gave my fucking drug dealer my ATM.
You just gave him...
He just had it. I didn't even touch it. It was his to take when I needed it out.
Wow.
How much did he screw me over? Probably a lot. But like...
You didn't even look?
Yeah, it's all blur. It's all a blur. It was just so much...
And you're thinking about the people. I missed my treatment too. When I went back to I went to the same place twice. I was desperate to go back to that place. I begged my mom. I'd been gone for a year. And same thing. I thought about those people all the time. The counselors, I really loved them. And I think that that's the magical part about treatment. Sometimes, as you know, treatment gets a bad rap, but it is magical.
It is.
One of the counselors here says, or the clinicians here said, there's magic in the milieu. The people that are just like hanging out and talking, like that's the good stuff, you know? And that is what I thought about every day while I was gone. The first time I was there, I hated it, didn't want to be there, thought everybody was losers. And then I relapsed, got kicked out, and spent a year trying to get back in.
That's so great.
So I understand that.
I mean, I walked in the first time of treatment, so I thought treatment, like, so Brandy Glanville, my best friend from Housewives, and my mom came to me, and they said to me that I needed to go to treatment. Now, this is what I look like. I haven't showered in weeks. I had my jaw disconnected in a gagged out moment. I still suffer the consequences of that. And I had blood everywhere in the house, and like blood, because it was just coming out of my nose. I had just blood all over clothes. And I looked at them and with my jaw like hanging, and I was like, treatment's for fucking losers. Now, poor them, they didn't have any backup. So like it went sour real quick. Right. And then I checked myself in after like them not leaving me alone for 2 weeks. And I'm grateful for them too. And it, from that day, like, it's all just a blur. Like I thought I was going for 5 days to treatment under my terms. I love when people are like, I'm here under my terms. I'm here for 3 weeks. Okay, good. Have fun. I stayed for 9.5 months. I did relapse in there for those 2 months. Yeah. But how I come to January 15th is I've been out. My mom comes to me. I'm staying at her house. I guess I said to her January 15th, in some way, I said, Mom, I'm ready. And in that second, she took me. Now, the first time I rolled into treatment, I had 5 fucking to me bags. I changed it between every group like it was a fucking fashion show. They were like, she's not serious. I could care less. I changed makeup, put more. Like, oh, it was crazy. And I walked in that day with the clothes on my back. Yeah. And when I realized that I asked for help, I was in the moving car in a moving motion, and I was like trying to jump out of the car. My mom had the doctor on, my main doctor, and he was like, don't let her get out. Just bring her straight here. And I went in, and that's when they tested me. And then they said I needed to detox off of the opiates with narcotics.
You didn't even know that you were consuming.
Opiates? What are you talking about, opiates? Yeah. They're like, yeah, I had no idea. I mean, no idea. Now that I look back, I just wasn't a good drug addict or alcoholic. Like, I can't tell you, like, if I wouldn't even know how to order a thing of wine. Like, I wasn't like one of those, like, I like to drink the blah, blah, blah wine. Yeah. Like, I only liked it for the effects.
I was kind of bad at being a drug addict, too. I was bad at, like, hitting myself. And
I liked being numb because I had so much trauma. Yeah. And I didn't know that I had trauma. I liked being numb because I was suffering from a disease I didn't know I had. You know?
Right. Mm-hmm. So, they make you go to detox in a psych ward. They do make you go.
So, they tested me and they said, because of that, I have to detox. So, I need to go to the psych ward that's I went to this place, Los Encinas, and Pasadena. And I had to go to the psych ward unit there. Okay. And I'll never forget being in that elevator, hearing my mom behind me crying, whimpering, and the doctor and a tech holding me. And at this point, they had known me because I went from I went June 12th of 2005 to November 2nd, and then I came back January 15th of 2006. And the tech was kind of confused, and like I remember this double door open from the elevator, and then more double doors open, and all this lock and all the from the locks. And there was a line friends and family couldn't cross. And my mom had to stop there, and they take away all the shoelaces, plastic, any sharp object you can hurt yourself or anyone else away with. They take it away from you. And I remember there was a guy in a wheelchair as I'm walking down. My room was the last room to the left, and he was in a wheelchair, and his eyes were rolling back, and it was drooling. And I was like, how did I get here? Me? What the fuck? And then I walked by another room. This girl's in a fist fight, and I'm like, what? Well, she was fighting herself, but I didn't realize that till later. She had multiple personalities, and this guy was running down the corridor naked, trying to welcome me, and I just went, what the fuck? How did me? All I wanted was that relief when I was 12 years old. So I'm 12 to hear. I got myself here, and all the darkness had happened. You know, yes, I've been sexually assaulted, raped. I've been, mishandled. I've been emotionally abused, physically abused, mentally abused, name it. I've also done shitty things too. Right. You know, I'm not going to say I'm some angel here. I can't do that. It's not the truth. Right. But yeah, that was just a freaky fucking moment. It's like, how did I get here? And that happened every time I relapsed. Like, how did I get here? Yeah. Like, I don't know if that happened to you.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
What happened?
Yeah.
You know, I'm
how
here
did I
again.
get here? Yeah.
And with that, it was like, how did I get into the psych ward? And I was doomed. Yeah. I was in a psych ward. Mm-hmm. And then I go to the restroom, and the tech needed to leave and go get the rest of the med sheet. And there was no doors connecting into your bathroom to your room. And when I got up, I realized the idiots forgot the belt. And it was like that. It was no hesitation. I looked up, saw a bunch of objects. There was 3 different beds. I got on top of one of the beds. I secured my belt through the object, secured it through, then I put my neck through there. And the last thing I remember on January 15th were my feet were dangling and everything went black. And then I woke up and I was so upset because I couldn't live and I couldn't die correctly. I was stuck in this hell of a vessel called me. And because of the fixation, I had a lot of complications. I couldn't speak. It took me 3 months to learn to form sentences. My brain worked perfectly. It was like a girl in a glass box going like, oh my God, here I am, Janine, help me. You know, like.
Because of the loss of oxygen for that amount of time.
Yes. And I shook profusely. That was bad. My hands and feet.
And you're 29 years old.
Yeah. 30, 29. But 9 months, sorry, I'm trying to say. It went for 9 months. Like even like the feet. I would get up, my brain would say, Jenny, get up and move over. And I'd roll over and I'd try to stand and I'd fall. I was in a wheelchair, couldn't walk. Then I went to a walker. Then I went to a cane and freely learned to walk again. That took like 5-6 months. I had no control of my bodily functions. I had to learn to go to the restroom again. I mean, I literally had to learn everything. And I'll never forget this day. It was probably a week into it, 4 days maybe into it. And I'm upstairs. They have open meetings at Los Encinas. You can come in, which means anyone's welcome to come into those meetings. They don't have it like that anymore. But at that time they did. And I could hear people coming in. And I was by the window and I remember I was trying to crack it open. It took me like 10 minutes to crack it like a quarter of an inch open. And I could hear everybody and they're laughing and someone's telling a joke and someone from far away was yelling because at someone else. And I could smell the smoke. I could hear this chatter and I could feel this feeling that I literally didn't understand what was going on. And I literally said in my head to God like this. It was just as loud, but in my head. So no words came out. But this is what I said. God, is it humanly possible for a girl like me to ever feel whatever those people are feeling? And if so, I'll go to any lengths. And till this day, that girl resides inside of me. And what I realized that they were feeling was joy, peace, love, comfort, acceptance, many things. And I'm that girl today.
Oh.
That
just made me cry. Because that is like the magic of a meeting. Yeah. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
There's just nothing like it. And for, the people that listen that are not 12-step and any sort of support group, I'll add that in. My familiarity is 12-step, obviously, but there's just nothing like it. And that's what I missed about my rehab too. It was just the people laughing. I've told people before, I never laughed so hard in my life as I did at the morning meeting at my treatment center because it was open to the public too. And, the same people are coming in, a lot of alumni. It's the 7 a.m. meeting Monday through Friday at the little center. Mm-hmm. And it was the best time ever.
Yeah.
So that was January 15th, 2001, 2011?
2006.
2006. Yeah. Okay. What has your life looked like since then?
I got to say something about you laughing. I'm so glad that you could laugh that fast and that amazing. I laughed when I was 2.5 years sober and Andy Dick walked into a sober house and I opened the door. I thought Andy was coming to plot my death with Steven Adler because I had just gotten physically abused by Steven and all this stuff and all this. It was like a crazy show. And I was ready to quit. And then Andy.
You were there as a counselor, right? You were one of the treatment counselors?
Yeah,
you
I ran the house on Sober House and then the counselor.
And he came in as a patient, as a client.
And so we were living together 24 hours a day for a month, me and 8 people. It was insane. But Andy comes in and I had dated somebody who was on Saturday Night Live who went on and pretended to be Andy. And he was like, I'm gay and coked up and did this whole thing. So Andy got pissed and he went to Howard Stern and made this song about him and his beard, the guy in his beard, who's me. So I'm like, this guy hates me. So I've seen Andy through the years and like, he was always cool. I've seen him as Daphne or whatever, but I was with different people like in the industry at the time. And so it was always a very cool atmosphere. But I'm like, he's going to get to know me. He's going to know who I dated, and he's going to hate me. And I'm the girl, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, after being beaten by this guy, Steven Adler, the last thing I need is them to like dig in my grave. Like I thought it was going to be over. And I opened the door and he's just shaking and gray. And like we instantly fell in love. But I got to tell you, that guy made me laugh. We laughed. I mean, everyone laughed. Like the camera crews would drop their cameras because we were just off our rockets. And till this day, Andy and I are still the same way.
How is he right now? He's just very publicly overdosed, obviously. And I know that you and your husband got him into some treatment. Yeah, how is he?
We went to the streets and found him.
You did?
Yeah. You did? Yeah. When I saw the video of him dying, like dead, just dead, we had lost Seth Bisner from Crazy Town. He was on the show. And Seth and I, another person I've known for 35 years or 30 years, since I was a teenager, like 13, 14 years old. And he died. I had found out on Tuesday, I was in Florida working with my husband, that he was living in MacArthur Park. And I told Tim, and I said, it's not good. He's really doing not good. It's bad that he's doing this, that. And Tim gets a ticket to come here Thursday. No, for Friday, because we're working with our clients. Seth died Thursday. And he was going to go get him. And we were going to put him in treatment, like the whole thing. And Tim was sponsoring him too. But like he's in my life since we were teenagers. It was devastating. And then Tom Sizemore was someone who I was in treatment with. And then he died. Like there was just...
yeah, he was on the show with you.
Yeah, but we were in treatment together that nobody knew about. But I think on the show we had to say like, oh, we were in treatment together before. Yeah, okay. But it was too hard. Much. Like I couldn't do anything. And like... the Andy thing, I don't know what came over me. It was like, I just need to do this. I need to, because he's going to die and I know I can help him. I know I could get him somewhere and I'll know he'll listen to me. So it was weird. As soon as I saw that, it was like God working miracles. 20 minutes later, I start getting all these crazy DMs and people I don't know. They're like, hey, I just saw Andy. He's here. Are you still, I know you're friends with him. I know you guys are really tight, or you guys did the show together. Can you please help him? And my husband started getting calls. And then I got outlets, like media outlets calling me. And they're like, we know you're close with Andy. We don't want him to die. Like it was that bad. Like people were like so desperate. So Tim and I found him in like 45 minutes. We get there and he had just left. And I talked to his wife, Lena, and
Andy Dick's wife?
And
I don't think I knew he was married.
He's married. She's great. Okay. She's a great woman. They're friends.
Okay.
They're really good friends.
Okay.
They're like brother and sister. And they just have a lot of history together.
Okay.
So she tells me he's going to Hemet, where she's at. I said, Tim goes, we're there tomorrow by 8. I looked at him, 8? What the fuck? Like, that means I got to get up early. And I was going through all my female things, and I had like fucking diapers on, everything. I get into Andy's house, I'm all swooshing away. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud in public.
You're gonna love it so much. You're like my favorite person I've ever interviewed. So yeah, so
let's just keep it honest.
It's
100
amazing
right now.
Yes.
Let's just keep it 100. And he's like, hey, I go, and he's like, he goes, what are you doing here? And like he smiled, and I said, I'm fucking taking you. He goes, what if I don't want to go? I said, bitch, you don't have a choice. I said, I'm in fucking diapers. I'm bleeding my fucking ass off. And I came all the way over here and I got up really early to do this. So you're leaving with me. Just started laughing and crying. And it was just beautiful.
And he went.
He went.
And he's doing okay now?
He's doing really good right now.
Good.
Fingers crossed.
That's awesome.
Got about 110 or 15 days.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We have him living a mile away from my house purposely.
Okay.
On purpose, so we can have a hand on him. But like between Lena, Tim, and I, and his manager, we have a really tight knit going on.
Okay.
Just trying to protect him.
Yeah.
It's just that he's so nice to everybody. And then like he just gets,
He's fragile.
He's very fragile.
It seems.
It is very fragile.
You say you and Tim helped him. I want to talk a little bit about, because the kind of purpose of your life now is that you and your husband, Tim Ryan, you work in, I don't even want to say treatment, because that is a little bit more narrow of a definition. You work in recovery and sobriety in general, right? Just kind of trying to help people in whatever ways you can.
Yes. Well,
what does that look like for you guys now?
So my husband, Tim Ryan, got a hold of me 7+ years ago, and he wanted to get together as a power couple. And I posted this picture. It was really funny. I'll just tell the truth. I posted a sexy picture. Sex sells. But like, I normally would be like, sexy picture. Oh, I had eating disorder and I tried to kill myself. You know, I do that.
I try to do that too, just to make it better.
But on this day, I just wrote sassiness or sassy, but ass in big letters.
Okay.
And it was an ass shot. So my husband gets a hold of me. I'm on a plane. I don't have the what's the thing for Facebook? I don't have the app, the Messenger.
Okay, Messenger. Okay.
I don't have any of those things. It's just too complicated for me. And then too many people can get a hold of me at this point. And he reaches out. I'm on the plane. I got bored, so I decided to go on the internet. I never go on Wi-Fi, ever. Okay. I love zoning out on the plane because it's my only time alone. And I get on and I see all these texts and all these messages, and Tim's there. And Tim and I we followed each other, but you know, if this is AA birthday, I'd say congratulations publicly. Like, we've never talked. We had about 30 or 40 of the same friends. We, in the last, he's 13 years, so in the last 11 years have been in the same city and next door to each other in restaurants in Delray, always in Delray. And I'd be there and fans would come up to me and be like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan. And they're like, oh my God, I just saw Tim Ryan. Are you there? And I'm like, I keep hearing about this guy, Tim Ryan. Yeah. And he had a documentary and he had on Annie, and he's like in the trenches. He was State of the Union, one of the visionary leaders in the world. I mean, like, my man's awesome. And he's so passionate for recovery. So we were going to pair up he wanted to talk. He reaches out. He's like, I'm coming. Where are you? I said, I'm on my way to Florida right now. He goes, I'm in LA. I said, funny. When are you coming back? And he asked me when I'm coming back. I said, I don't know, in like 5 weeks or so. He's like, oh, well, I'll probably be in Florida. So he's like, he said, I'll be there next week. I'll meet up for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We could talk. I'd love to pair up with you and do like power coupling things and, you know, doing recovery stuff. So he doesn't call me when he comes in town. Now, I kind of let it go. And then a week later, I make the big thing to get on the fucking site, to get on the web, you know, messenger thing. And I was like, hey, thanks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're just like the rest of them. Have a great day. So he calls me immediately. So we start talking. And now for the first 3 weeks, it's a machismo industry. I need to be taken seriously. I don't want him to know my private shit. He doesn't need to know. I don't need to know his. So I don't try to get too personal. Eventually I find out he's going through a divorce. Good for him. And we're still talking about like power couple. He has all these kids. I'm like, I have none. And he's like, you know, we're talking and he's like, I got to check my schedule. I go, you and that fucking schedule could just shove it up your ass. Like, I'm so tired about hearing a schedule. I'm traveling the country right now. And like, you're talking about a schedule. And he had another phone. So as soon as we got off the phone, he goes, check your text. I'll see you Friday. And I check, and he had booked a flight while we were talking. So I go and pick him up in Florida. And I get out of the car and I see him. I remember his face, like his body, you know, his little thing, and he just got bigger and bigger and bigger when I saw him. And I run out of the car and I hug him. And he gave me a kiss on the cheek. And literally underneath my belly button, it felt like we connected, like this magnet. I believed in love at first sight for everybody else. And I thought all my exes accumulated to that. Like, I just didn't think it was going to be my thing. It was love at first sight. And I didn't realize it at that moment. I just thought, whoa, this is like, that connection was weird. We go to this place I'm interviewing at. I get a job where he's at. And 3 hours later, we're at lunch, early dinner. And he's like, I'm going to marry you. I was like, and I like spit my Coke out. And he's like, I go, wait, what? He's like, I'm going to marry you. I go, you might want to finish that divorce. And like, he's like, no, I know. Okay, it'll be done in 3-4 weeks. I said, yeah, finish your divorce. He's like, it'll be done. I'm going to marry you. And I'm like, go sow your oats, dude. He's like, nope, I know what I want. I said, please go fuck girls. Do your thing. Go sleep with them. Go do what you need to do. Get it out of your system. But me and you can be a power couple while this is happening. We can conquer this industry, you know.
Wow, that's wild.
So it's crazy. So 4 weeks later, he's divorced. 4 months later, we were engaged. That year, he kept going, something's missing. It was his ring finger. And I was like, I just want a wedding for 2020. And he's like, let's just get married first. So we got married at Justice of the Peace in Beverly Hills with my mom, his daughter, my daughter, and him, obviously. And it's been game on. And, you know, it's been incredible. I first never thought I'd be with someone that loves and to do what I do, things that I do. He is so passionate about recovery, mental health, helping people. My husband goes to I don't go that far. I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't go half as far as he does. And I don't have the time to do as much as he does. But he can take we're in death all day. Yeah. We're talking about death, suicide, abuse, every type of form. I'm hearing dark shit all day. Like it does get to me after a while. I have to find a balance. Especially with my health issues and now being a mom, like, you know, like we want to keep a very healthy balance in our home.
Right.
So, you know, we're on the phone. He's on he takes every call. It's insane. So we started doing interventions. There's not one intervention that we've done together that the person hasn't gone. He's done thousands. We've done probably like 400 together. Wow. So we've had everyone go. It's been amazing. We also help people with treatment centers and, you know, build treatment centers. We do coaching, a lot of coaching.
Okay.
We do. I mean, we're always helping. It's so many different things that we're doing.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you were talking about, like just now, the things to separate from, and that reminded me what I wanted to ask you about again from the very beginning that we were talking about. The tools that you now have, right? Like in that moment when you had the memory of what had happened, or even just now today when you guys just got that call, the tools that you've developed in recovery, what tools would you say have been the most helpful to you in your recovery? Like what do you go to daily? Do you have a daily meditation practice? Is it the 12 steps? What are the tools that you've picked up that have changed your life?
God, it literally changes on a monthly or daily basis at times. But like, what has been my biggest growth? Because see, like, I believe there's many ways to recovery. Mine, I only know I've tried a la Buddha, you know, Moses and the ants and donkeys, you know, I mean, it didn't work.
Right.
12-step work for me.
Okay.
But I needed these tools, such as one thing it's automatic, separate fact from fiction. Separate fact from fiction. So, okay, a lot's going on. Okay, and I'm tired. What's going on? Okay, did I just get hurt, or am I like just feeling things? Okay, fact from fiction. This is what you need to do. You don't need to do these other 500 things on top of that. Like, okay, you're having an argument. You're disagreeing or whatever. Me and Tim, I'll just make this up. Or we're having a disagreement. Fact from fiction. Best thing I should do is walk away. Walk away because I'm going to say something. I'm going to destroy this thing. And he's going to say something that's just going to get worse. Like fact from fiction, this man loves me, right, and I love him.
Right.
We're just in an argument, like I'm just getting fed up or something, you know, like.
Or fact from fiction, somebody can say something really mean about me online, but I'm in Malibu interviewing people at this beautiful treatment center. And that's my actual life.
And that you're so beautiful, because I mean, let's just make it what the truth is.
Thank you. That would be an example of that, right?
Absolutely. Fact from fiction, like, okay, I'm not going to die today. So, like, you know, we were talking earlier.
I love that.
For me, like, my husband, he bounces out of bed. He's like, I'm happy. It's 4 a.m. I'm like, takes me 20 minutes to realize, like, I'm not dying. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, sometimes 15 minutes, like, you're not dead, Jane. The world's not coming to an end. Like, it's fact from fiction. I have to, like, self-talk this shit.
Oh, I love that.
I have to. Another thing that's really important is, like, compassion, Jen. Be nice to me. What would you say to you 10 years from now? Like, what would you say to this girl 10 years from now?
Oh, okay.
You know, something that I learned for me that was a really big one was talking to the little girl inside me. So I had to literally visualize a photo or a moment in my time as a little girl. Yeah. And then I see her and I tell her inwardly, like, baby, go play, you're safe. I got you. Because the adult Jenny, can take care of the little Jenny. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, I love
That's
that.
a big one for women. Like, I talk a lot to her. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's weird. Like, I think about, like, my success or my life. Like, my life, even now, like, my successes are really big successes. And they're also average successes. And they're just, like, normal successes. Yeah. But I have to be very cautious with, that's not who I am. That's not what I do. It doesn't represent anything about me. Like I used to, used to think the successes validated me because I was a model or an actress or a therapist, whatever you want to call it, right? Like yourself. None of that shit matters. Like, I'm many things. Like people, like agents, are like, well, I don't know what to categorize. Honey, I don't fit in a fucking box. Let me just tell you that. Like, I was a model and an actress, and I'm TV personality. I'm shooting shows right now. Like, I'm doing these other things. Like, I still shoot photographs. I help people. I do groups. I do this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm representing facilities. Like, there's just so many things I do that I can't label myself. And like, I don't like labels at all. I try really hard. And I know we live in a society in an industry where our labels matter.
Right.
That's fucking, I already had the labels. I don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
I'm okay. And that's why me and my husband really don't really say exactly one thing we do, because we do many.
Right.
We have a podcast that we're starting up again.
I know. Dope.
The Dope Show with Tim and Jen.
That's right.
It was the Tim and Jen show. And then he's like, let's just say we're the dope man, because he's the dope man. So
right. Yeah. No, I love that. That's funny.
I'm settling. I'm letting the dope show.
Okay. All right. I get that. So how do you find value in who you are separate from the successes? Because that's something I need to work on too, separate from who you are at work. Like, do you just connect to that innate value that you have just as like a human being? Like, how have you been able to do that?
Having more human experiences.
What does that mean?
Have more. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, right?
Okay.
So, like, I try to have more human experiences. Weird things for me, like I had to do a lot of things that weren't in the program. Like I got sober in Compton, like in Crenshaw and 36. Like my sponsor was no joke. Till this day, she's no joke. She is the real deal. Everything's in the book. These people were like, I would call them the toothless people meetings, and like be a dick, and they'd be like, "Oh, baby, come back." And anytime I had a question, they'd be like, "Oh, look at the pretty princess has to say what it was like." It was, sit down, shut the fuck up, and shout at your sponsor. You know, they taught me universal love, right? This is about like we're talking about whether it be eating disorders, whether it be getting fit, whether it be mental disorders, drug addiction, gambling, bad marriage, good. I mean, all these things. Like we're all going through something at different times, but we're all going through something. Like just because I say I'm an addict, a recovering addict, alcoholic, I still go through eating things like body image. I go through aging. Shit, that's happening now. What the fuck? Like, you know, like, and everyone's like, I love to age gracefully. You know what? I love to age gracefully too.
Please.
But like, let me feel good about that moment.
Totally.
You know, like, and I am aging. Like, it's the truth. I'm not like 20 anymore. Like, I don't know. It's like there's all these beautiful things that people can show you and how to live. And like, it's like, I don't want to stereotype one person. Like if someone's listening to this right now, I've talked mostly about drugs and alcohol, but like this is about like, I'm a new mom, guys. Like this is new to me. Like I've never been sober on this day or been sober this long, you know, on this date, like of this time of my sobriety. I have never been married this long. Like I've never been married before. And like, and let alone like, that was something that with Tim, that's what I love about him when we grow together. Like we love being together so much, like that when we're apart, we miss each other and it's hysterical. Yeah. But like, I also need my space. Yeah. He travels and I travel. And like we also have a full-time child now too. Yeah. So like, it's just adding more things. Yeah. And our schedules are everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to like do the next indicated thing. And I think like me being sick has helped me in the sense of, which is so crazy, I'm saying this out loud, that when my body doesn't feel right, I don't do it. Like, because I'm not in a great, like I could be bedridden today. Like I could have woken up being bedridden because of what I'm going through. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, okay, I appreciate this day so much more. And I'm appreciating the good times a lot more.
The gratitude.
And it's like just the simple things. Cause it's not like like you said, the acting or the like, you know, if I get a movie with Brad Pitt, like that's not going to make me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I used to think they were all these things were going to make me, and that clothes or that body shape or that style or that way of being or that magazine or that TV show, I'm going to make. Like, no, I'm making it every day. Like it's the little things, you know. I had to, like, again, like I said, I had to do things that weren't in the program. There's like my sponsor, every time I like break up with someone, I'd be like, I think it's time for me to start dating. She's like, oh, really? What would you want? I remember I was like, no, I'm going to start dating. It's been like 3 months. So, okay. And she's like, what do you want to do? I said, I want a guy to take me out. What do you want? Want to go out to eat? Great. I want to get dressed up and look cute. Okay. I want a guy to get me flowers. Okay. I want to have a good time. Just maybe go have, she goes, great. You're going to go do that tomorrow by yourself. And so she's like, you're going to date yourself. So I started dating myself. So now my husband, now I've gone.
Oh, that's tricky.
Oh, it's the best. Oh,
that's a little trick she played.
Yes. Go on a walk and buy flowers. Okay, you're going to go pick flowers. Go buy yourself some flowers. I mean, I had to do all this shit.
Interesting.
And it was great. And I would go out to eat. I wouldn't go like to a major restaurant, but I'd go out to eat, right? Like at a restaurant. Yeah. And now my husband's like, babe, are you going to go on a date? And I'm like, yeah. He knows I want to go to eat by myself with God.
Aww.
Like, and it's not like I'll go down the street or whatever, but it's not like, it's just, I need that moment. And like, it's me and God. Like, you know, sometimes it's just as simple as that. Like,
oh, that's so cool. I love that.
it's the simple things that change everything, I think. You know, I mean.
And more human experiences. That might be one of my favorite answers I've ever gotten on the show. How do you connect? More human experiences.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, I think that we're so like, okay, I got to be around mom. I got to be around dad, wife, kids, job, camera, whatever. Like, okay, so my sponsor used to be like, in an unedited world, what would you say? And I'd be like, I'd say blah, blah, blah. She goes, good, that's what you're going to do for a week. Because I'd have to practice doing these runs of an unedited world. Like, not that I'd be like, oh, you're ugly. Like, it's none of that stuff. It's just like, no, I don't think so. I don't want to do that. Not in the mood today. Like, what? I got to say that?
Oh, I love that.
It's finding your voice. It's finding your rhythm. Like, okay, you want my happy place? A hose and a garden, like lawn. I love it. I'm in the beach. But like Tim's like, oh, she's meditating because I just sit there and I think about deep shit. Like, what? Like that keeps me like, I don't tell a lot of people.
Okay. But I love that. I'm glad you did. That's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, things change. I mean, what mattered to me before doesn't matter to me as much.
Totally.
And, I mean, get sick. I mean, I've been sick like before. I was sick for some other things. And I mean, my health is, you got nothing without it.
Last question, because you are a 12-step person.
Excuse me.
Do you have a favorite step, or what was your experience with the steps overall? Like a most impactful step. When you look back, you're like, damn,
excuse me.
That one changed my life.
So, I'm not going to say that I love a certain step because they're all different at different times in my life. I think one I must get, because if you don't get one, you're done, right? You can't, you have to accept, and like your life is a med, but you have to accept it. Two, I didn't realize how insane I was until I got sober. Okay. And it took me a little bit. So my sponsor was like, let's wait a couple months, see how crazy you really were, because you don't remember shit. And then I got that one. Three, turning my will. That one is an ongoing, ever-growing, never-ending process. Yeah. I trust in a God I fully do not understand. Right. But I'm trusting the process, and I'm getting to know on a daily basis. And my God, he loves me. He carries my picture in the back of his wallet. He shows it to everyone. You know, I got to create the God of my understanding. It's not a religious God, because I grew up religious. It's not like, it's the God of my understanding. And like, I had to write down what kind of God I wanted. Okay. She said, have a field day. I did. It was creative. I was like, oh, funny. I think I wrote funny like 4 times. But happy, sweet, loving, compassion, non-judgmental. And then who God is to me. Without making, because, you know, we get confused with religion or whatever aspect, or that God is bad, whatever. And God is you. God is I even wrote like future facelift doctor. I'm not even kidding you. I wrote that 20 years ago. 20 fucking years ago, I wrote that. I wrote my baby delivered, my agent, my producer, I wrote everything. My best friend, like that's who God is. God is the customer service, because I had to call the fucking IRS and customer service stuff in the new sobriety. I hate calling customer service. I have panic attacks. Like, I'll wait as long as I can to not have to call a customer service. Yep. Like DWP, I have
especially
to call
IRS. Oh yeah, and
IRS,
DWP.
Forget it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
DWP, I have to call, and they want numbers, and
I
have to go to the
No, I can't.
Freaking out.
I hate it.
And they make me wait 45 minutes.
I'm the same way. I can't do it.
I'm so glad you feel like this.
I'm the same way.
But like, yeah. So like, it's like.
DWP, guys, so for people that don't live here, is the LA Power Department. Yes. And it's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare.
And I'm sure it is everywhere, because it is in San Diego too.
Okay,
but,
yeah, okay. Yeah. But like, you know, it's like, I just don't take myself as seriously.
Okay.
I really don't. I think that's an important thing. Like, I see, because I've been sick, like, I see the world a little differently right now. Like, when I'm in a good place, I'm like, there's so much to this world. There's so much to this world. It's not just your phone and the stupid TV. And like, I get caught up in all the stupid, like, oh my God, he said that and that political part. I don't care about red or blue or green. I just don't give a fuck. I don't. They're all the same. I don't have any opinions on that shit. Like, why make my life worse? You know, I just try to like,
have human experience.
Yeah. I mean, my mom means so much to me. Yeah. Like, I'm so grateful. I have such a great relationship with my family. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Well, Jenny, I cannot thank you enough for doing this, for driving all the way out here. I'm so glad that you guys came out here. I'm glad that you brought Tim and I got to meet him.
I'm so glad to meet you. I think you're an incredible woman.
I'm so excited to now have you in my life. Yes. Now you're in my life. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yes,
we're going to find the best facelift doctors in Turkey together.
In Turkey. We're going to Turkey.
And I'm going to see you at Dopeywood in a few weeks.
Yes,
it'll be amazing. And I just can't thank you enough for your time.
I love you and I honor you. Thank you so much for doing this show. Thank you, everyone who listens. It's so important that we have this bonding.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks.